Are back on track 2. You are in time to see Puerto Rico take on Australia. If you were watching track 2 earlier, Australia faced off against Belgium, coming out ahead to 10-31. And then straight after that, it was France versus Puerto Rico, France being the victor, 290-31. And then also on track 1, about 2 o'clock Mountain Time, it was a 92-111 Puerto Rico-Belgium bout.
And against the Netherlands earlier on track 1, Australia beat them 342-3.
Wow. So these two teams meeting, that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what we are going to see. I am Julius Leeser, joined here by Psycho Daiko. I think we're going to run through some rosters really quick, and then we'll have a chat.
Sounds great.
It'll be amazing. So playing today for Team Puerto Rico is going to be 02 Coach Boone, 117 Disaster Chief, 18 Madera, 24 Flecha, 275 Martinez, 414 Timon, 5 Bustelo, 5280 David Miles Rios, 68 Rosario, 8 Hector Rivera, and 93 Tio Danny.
And playing for Australia today, they have actually changed over to wear their yellow uniforms this afternoon. We have number 0, Skate Pilgrim, number 11, Sausage Rolls, who's also the captain, 1261 Skate Slinger, number 16, Ballistic, 1957 Mr. Spew, number 3, Fuzz, 311 Rampage, 34 Dirty 5, 39 JS, 505 Son of Skaten, 633 Synaptic Kid, 75 Just Incredible, number 80 Flamin' Galar, and number 90 Grease Monkey.
So both of these teams have had some excellent matchups today. A couple of blowouts, like I mentioned, the Australia versus Belgium, 210 for Australia, 31 Belgium, and then the France versus Puerto Rico, 290-31. That's some pretty significant. Nothing compared to what you just mentioned with the Australia versus who?
Netherlands.
Netherlands, 300 and something to 3.
342-3.
So you can see some stiff competition this weekend, these first 2 days. If this is the first time you're tuning in, we're doing the 30-minute placement bouts. They do run 30 minutes, that's it. So each team gets one timeout. The clock will still run during the timeout. It will still last 1 minute. The clock will run during an injury. The clock will run no matter what. It's going to be 30 minutes.
So it's hard and fast derby. That's all I've seen all day today is just seriously hard and fast derby. They are coming out and absolutely slamming it straight from the get-go. Australia are very keen to step themselves forward from coming 5th at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2 years ago.
If you would like to engage in us, it's going to be hashtag MRDWC. Do any shout outs that you like to do. We do have a producer looking on.
It looks like we're going to get started here. We are rolling with Derby, so the first 5 rolling up: Skate Pilgrim, Mr. Spew, Fuzz, Rampage, and Grease Monkey in the yellow for Australia.
It's going to be Skate Pilgrim up there, almost out of the pack. Is going to be called off for a track cut. So it's turning into a roller derby athletics power jam in favor of Puerto Rico. That is Rosario joining in the box. You guys may know Rosario from New York Stock Exchange as J-Rom. Captain Boom coming through, not quite all the way through the pack, gets knocked into the inside, is going to be recycled not terribly far back. Australia joining up, making a wall, trying to keep him back as much as possible. This power jam is finished and back in play. It's the Australian jammer, 0 Skate Pilgrim.
Mr. Spew directing traffic out there for the Wizards, making sure they've got their blockers working hard at the back while helping out Skate Pilgrim at the front. He gets through for a big 5 points. Looks like we have had an attempted star pass. I believe that might be... Sorry, that is number 68, Rosario, who's just now got himself the star for Puerto Rico. Trying again for the apex jump on the inside. And Mr. Spew putting a stop to that. There's another big 5 points on the board.
So of course the star... Sorry. The star has of course been passed to Rosario, who's out of the box, out of the pack, through on his initial, will be coming in for his first scoring pass. skate calls it off, picking up 2 more points in that pass. A 12-point jam on this first jam of Australia versus Puerto Rico. So right now, Australia at 12, Puerto Rico at 0.
So now heading our Nerd Skate Shop jammer line, we have Sausage Rolls wearing the star for Australia. We've got 275 Martinez hitting the line for Puerto Rico. Sausage Rolls looks like he's going in for a bit of a cuddle there.
Just making friends, it's all right.
That's what it's all about, and Sausage Rolls blasts out to get the lead. He has been skating fantastically today. One of the Team Australia skaters that did make it into the World's team at the 2014.
It's true, I remember him.
I think he made a few fans at that one,
He sure
as
did.
he's doing now again.
Martinez is through, finishing his initial. He's going to be coming in to score. About half a track away. The jam is called. 4 points picked up by Australia, bringing them up to 21. Puerto Rico still sitting at 0.
I feel like for the rest of this game, as it's only the 30-minute games, a lot of the quick points and calling it off. The jammers really wanted to take care of their skaters out there, nobody getting too tired with this fast derby.
Yeah.
We have Dirty 5 on the line for Team Australia and Bastillo for Puerto Rico. Oh,
Ooh,
and
someone's toe stop has just gone away. I think it's actually, is it Bustillo's?
I think it might actually be his wheel.
Oh.
I think Bustillo.
Oh, it's toe stop colored. Oh, it is his wheel.
It is his
So
real
he's got
wheel.
7 wheels. Let's see how this goes.
This should be interesting. He's only using the front too.
Yeah, he's
and
been
his
running on his
so
toe stop, so
he's
it's.
fine.
I don't think he noticed. Oh, he almost slipped back on it.
I think he's just realized
just
now as he
realized
just went to
it.
lean on it.
It is a little bit of a safety concern because he could easily fall back on that. In the meantime, Australia coming through, getting through that pack on the outside. 5 more points on the board for Australia.
Bastillo pushing hard and working well with only 7 wheels. I struggle with 8, so he's doing amazingly. And blasting through for another big 5 points is Dirty 5. Bastillo has realized he's lost that wheel, but he's still powering on.
Looked like David Miles Rios was asking for a star pass. It has not happened. And Rosario is going to go off to the box for a blocking counter to play.
Rivera is trying to hold on to Dirty 5 at the front. Gets called for an out of play.
If you look at this back, Australia's got all 4 of their teammates working against Costello, who's being recycled as far back as possible.
David Moles Rios and I think that might have been Grease Monkey there getting very cozy. Oh, Bastillo trying to find that inside line. Doesn't believe he made that jump clean, so he's just going to yield anyway.
It's better safe than sorry, right?
Indeed.
Especially like, he does not have lead jammer, he's got 7 wheels.
Just yield. And hope for the best.
Yeah. So into that jam, we're up 56 Australia, Puerto Rico 0. We've got 24, just under 24 and a half minutes left in this game.
So hitting the line, we have Skate Pilgrim in the yellow for Team Australia, and we have Fletcher on the line for Puerto Rico. Now, this is some definite height difference between these 2 skaters here.
There's Skate Pilgrim trying to mow his way through, gets knocked into the inside, but his assailant will be sent off for a penalty. He comes back in, gets lead jammer status with great ease. Puerto Rico standing there at the back, trying to help their jammer through, but they are low on blockers at this point.
Son of Skaden is working very hard to try and hold on to Fletcher, as are the rest of Team Australia now joining him in with the pack advantage to Team Australia.
Back through the pack once again, 5 more points on the board for Australia. Still nothing has been picked up by Team Puerto Rico.
Fletcher trying to ride that hip on the inside line, but having to be recycled not too far back, fortunately. while Skate Pilgrim goes for another loop around the track. Skate Pilgrim now heads ahead with a full pack of Puerto Rico.
Coach Boom going off to the penalty box while Skate Pilgrim picks up another 5 points for Australia.
And Fletcher has made his way out, being chased down by Just Incredible, but finding his way around.
Just 4 more points for Australia. Both of these teams have gotten good reception from our Twitter peoples. From the Twitterverse, I'm sorry.
The Twitterverse are loving this right about now.
Especially we'd like to say hi to Zed Lanford, who's a huge fan of Team Puerto Rico. And then, of course, the designer, who is fan of the Wizards out there. It's nice to see evenness.
It is. It's great to see evenness, especially
balance in the universe.
Love coming from Australia as well. Hashtag MRDWC. Put your shout outs out there and we'll put them out on the web because we know you got up super early. At least now it's 9 a.m.
Ooh, Rosario is through. Lead jammer, I believe for the first time, goes to Team Puerto Rico. Hot on his heels, though, is number 11.
Sausage rolls, chasing him down and just nailing.
And running away. Oh my gosh, Rosario is not going to put up with that. Calls it off before he meets the pack. Oh, that was hot and heavy, though.
Sausage Rolls was not very happy about being out of the pack.
Did you see him fly out of the pack and just chase him down? That was amazing.
That's commitment. That's commitment right there.
Commendable effort on behalf of J. Roth for getting first lead for Team Puerto Rico. Out on the line this time, we've got Martinez. We're going to be facing off against Australia's number 39, JS.
And it looks like we got ourselves a clean penalty box, which I love to see.
Very good.
Makes for some very solid derby.
There's a pretty solid pack just ahead, so Martinez trying to get his way through, but JS finds his way through on the outside somehow. Lead jammer status goes to Australia.
Martinez.
Puerto Rico is going to be losing their pivot, so there won't be any star passing happening. Coach Boom up front chasing out JS as he leaves the pack.
Oh, fancy footwork from Martinez to stay inside the lines. Just, one wheel, one skate, made it out. He's been called for the cut on the outside. He did so well to hold on for so long.
That was some tricky business. So this Power Jam again brought to you by Roller Derby Athletics. And it is in favor of Team Australia.
JS now with the full force of the Wizards assisting their jammer through.
5 more points for Australia.
And Just Incredible found himself on the wrong end of the whistle, so he's going to the penalty box. As we have our jammer standing up for Puerto Rico, getting ready to hit the track again. Martinez is ready to roll.
JS getting past that last Puerto Rico blocker. He's picking up another 5 points for Australia, bringing him up to the 100 mark.
Martinez, I believe, still on his initial pass, so JS will try and drag this one out and get as many points as he can. Hoping for the full 2 minutes, I believe, to try and get as many points on the board as possible. Just in case it comes down to a points count back later on. The Wizards living up to their tagline, you shall not pass.
Right. Jeez, all right, that is the natural conclusion of the jam. A 34-point jam for Team Australia, bringing them up to 114. Puerto Rico still sitting at 0. Fans, we're letting you choose one of our MVPs. This year's Quad Skate Shop Team of the Tournament will now include a fan favorite award as chosen by you. So be sure to check out our Facebook page during Saturday's play to vote for your favorite. That is Quad Skate Shop.
It's pretty awesome to hear that the fan favorite going to be included into the Team of the
that's great.
Tournament. Dirty 5 and Bastido going head-to-head on the line. Dirty 5 is almost out in front. I believe he may have got the lead just before he was called for the cut.
Well, you know, there's one way to tell. If he gets through and he gets lead. Okay, lead was closed. So now lead is extra closed as Bustelo has lead jammer status for Puerto Rico.
Second time getting the lead there for Puerto Rico.
Very nice, very nice. So this time we don't have the sausage roller chasing him wildly. But he does have a really, really thick wall up front of Australian blockers. His teammates trying to help him through. That is the first 5 points on the board for Team Puerto Rico, brought to you by Bocello.
Absolutely awesome work there by Bocello on that roller derby athletics power jam. He is super pumped, and as he should be. He worked hard to earn those big 5 points.
I think he may have intended to freeze the jammer in the box. That is not so we will not do a power start. It was just as the jam was called. Exited that box, so we were going to have sausage rolls up against 117, Disaster Chief.
I think the first time that we've seen Disaster Chief putting on the star for this bout. Sausage Rolls having a little giggle there with Disaster Chief on the line.
Ooh, finds a wide open lane on the outside, takes lead jammer. Australia once again. In the meantime, Disaster Chief is hung up against these amazing Australian defenses. He's trying to muscle his way through, but it's hard to find a hole if there is no hole.
Sausage Rolls with some beautiful fancy footwork there, making his way through for another big 5 points for Team Australia. And he's around again, just making it look a little bit too easy. I know it's not as easy as it looks, though. Sausage Rolls is pretty amazing on his skates.
He's a wizard.
He is a wizard.
So
you're a wizard, Ari.
So still stuck in that back, we've got that 3 wall with that one floating blocker waiting to stop anyone from disrupting this 3 wall Australia's got back here. The Chief is knocked into the inside. He's having to come back. It looks like he's getting worn a bit thin trying to get through those defenses. I can only imagine how much stamina is being eaten up just pressing his full body weight against people who seem impossible to move.
Playing very fast derby and then coming up against a wall like that, that's absolutely just not giving you a millimeter to move. Disaster Chief has got to be certainly feeling the fatigue.
And how?
Tell you what, I wouldn't want to be trying to take on that wall right about now.
No, Sausage Rolls comes back once again, picking up another 5 points for Australia. Disaster Chief still trying to press his way through. They are breaking up.
I believe Disaster Chief may have actually done a star pass.
I was wondering, it looked like potentially
David Moss Rios.
Yeah, Rios may
his
have
star
it.
in his hand.
See if he has better luck getting through. Well, it's going to get called instead. Another 5 points on the board, bringing the Wizards up to. I'm going to wait because I feel like there it goes. 151, Puerto Rico at a commendable 5.
They waited just until you said it. It's gone up to 154 to 5. It's like it's second you said it.
I even waited.
They waited just a second longer than you.
Lined up on that Nerd Skate Shop jammer line is Skate Pilgrim for Australia.
And Fletcher with the star on for Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico bunching up, trying to hold Skate Pilgrim. And they've got him held up at the front quite well. Skate Pilgrim having to fight very hard to get his way around.
I can see Rosario's face bouncing around that. Looks like he was controlling his blockers up front, but through lead jammer once again, Australia, Skate Pilgrim.
Fletcher fighting hard. He does disappear once he hits that middle of the pack.
Yep.
Having to yield quite a ways back around the track.
Skate through once again, 5 more points for Australia to repurchase the pack. In the meantime, Fletcher
he's taken the star off. Oh, big jump on the inside apex there from Skate Pilgrim.
Starless doesn't necessarily mean your pivot has it, but in this case he does. He has it in hand. He gets knocked out to the outside just as he passes through the pack. Better play it safe than sorry. Puts it on in the middle and comes back to meet up with the Wizards of Oz.
Fletcher just using his height to his advantage and ducking underneath the arms of the Wizards to get in the middle of their pack. Split their blockers up to let his jammer through.
Rivera had gotten through just to have the jam called.
The Wizards will not be like that.
13-18 left in this game. 173 Australia, 5 Puerto Rico.
35 on the line for Australia. Martinez back on the line for Puerto Rico on the Nerd Skate Shop Jammer line.
Martinez taking a good strike to the inside. In the meantime, lead jammer status goes once again to Australia. 35 now coming on his first scoring pass. He takes the outside lane, gets cleanly through. 5 points accrued. Martinez still hung up in the pack. Looks like some recycling is happening there. He's going to come back behind number 16, Ballistic. In the meantime, another 5 points picked up by Australia, while Puerto Rico's pivot goes off to the box.
Oh, trying to find the inside. Martinez finds it quite well by a little bit of assistance there from the Wizards. Didn't have to yield too far back. Now Synaptic Kid working Martinez back again. As
Dirty Five is just like excelling at finding the only open areas and just sliding right through them. And he just did that just now. Let's see if he's going to do it again. He's going to meet some resistance this time. Bostella up front, Flecha up front now. They have to let him go, and he is off. Another 5 points. Currently a 25-point jam for Australia.
still some beautiful footwork there from Dirty Five to get his way through. He did get the assist from Just Incredible there, trapping one of the blockers, Puerto Rican blockers behind to make it a little bit easier for Dirty Five. We do have Puerto Rico out of the pack. Looks like that was a very hard time getting out of that pack though for Martinez. He looks very tired.
Working. As he approaches the back of the pack, it is called off by Dirty Five, who's accrued 35 points in that jam.
Now, I know Martinez would have been keen to get some points on the board there for Puerto Rico,
Definitely.
But he did look slightly relieved that he got to take a seat. He was pretty exhausted.
Puerto Rico's had some really hard games today, as has Australia. So I feel like everybody's probably a bit tired as we wind this day down.
And it's getting quite warm in here this afternoon. Definitely the temperatures are rising, as is the humidity in here.
Oh, and how. Out on that Nerd Skate Shop jam line, we've got number 117, Puerto Rico, Disaster Chief.
And Sausage Rolls is just flying. He's already done his initial. He was coming through on his scoring.
He skates faster than I talk.
And it looks like they're again calling David Mullins Rios, trying to call for the star pass, but his jammer doesn't seem to be seeing the call.
Oh, his jammer's getting knocked into the inside.
Just got lifted by Rampage.
Oh, I think he might have in mind the same thing as Rios.
Except now he's lost Rios. Rios trying to find his way back to his jammer.
Well, I think maybe some of the Wizards had noticed Rios's signal to their jammer, and now they're going to keep them apart. Like so many tragic love stories, am I right?
Star-crossed lovers caught in the night. As Sausage rolls around again for another big 5 points. David Miles Rios still holding onto that star, I believe, by the looks of it. And the Wizards are not fooled at all by the star stash.
The thing with Wizards, though, is it's hard to trick them. I don't know if you've ever tried to trick a Wizard, but in my experience, it's been rough. Even though a little bit rough and tumble through the pack, another 5 points. Currently a 30-point jam for the Wizards of Oz.
Sausage rolls. Oh, just got taken out on the inside by Rivera. And having to recycle back about a quarter of the track. And bumped out again on the inside. He's back on track. Shimmy shakes his way through and decides to call it off. He's had enough of skating around the track because, you know, 35 points in one jam. Well,
that's pretty serious.
That'll do, he said.
Thinking about serious, we want to thank you for tuning in to track 2. In case you were wondering what's just happened on track 1, it's Mexico versus Spain. It's 138-28 in favor of Mexico.
Wow, excellent work there by Mexico. We've got ourselves just under 8.5 minutes left here to go on SISU track 2. SISU Mouthguards, one of our fantastic sponsors here this weekend. Making sure you get to see all of the derby action as we have ourselves JS skating up for Australia. And it looks like we've got Bastillo, he's obviously found that extra wheel and he's ready to rock and roll and have another go at jamming.
Stay past that nerd skate shot pivot line. They are off. Musella is going to be knocked into the inside, going to come back through the back.
JS working hard, but he has found his way through. Great work there from Puerto Rico. Held on to him for nearly half the track.
Yes.
Oh, Bastillo, he has found some open space and he was skating hard.
So he is throwing his initial, oh, and it turns into a roller derby athletic power jam in favor of Puerto Rico. So while he isn't lead jammer, he is on his first scoring pass. If he can get his hips past a couple of these guys, we can see some points that have not been changed for quite a few jams.
And he looked pretty excited about it, doing a little shimmy shake on the way around.
Well, those Wizards do not want to yield. They are waterfalling their skaters out, turning it in from a 4 to a 3 and back to a 4, knocking him back.
Puerto Rico trying to come in with the assist. Bastillo looks like he's might have had the wind knocked out of him a little bit. Now Flame and Galar.
They've nearly done the penalty kill just as JS is going to be coming back in now. So proper penalty kill by Australia is not allowed Puerto Rico any sort of leniency. And they have got the jammer so far back. All three of them got the out of play warning from Davey Darko.
And Bastillo looked like he was just going to wait out that one. He wanted that out of play, no pack call to try and give himself a little bit of an advantage, but taken out again on the inside line.
That is the natural conclusion of that jam. So time whiles away. There's going to be 251 points for Australia, 10 points for Puerto Rico, and we are going to go to a team timeout for Team Puerto Rico. Brought to you by Quad Skate Shop.
We're going to be testing 3 helmets today. This simulates a 10-mile-an-hour impact or a 4-foot drop. The S1 Lifer helmet with EPS Fusion foam did pass the multiple impact test.
And we are back. Just missed the Wizards doing their tagline, "You shall not pass." And how? For those of you who missed the last couple of minutes, again, Australia's at 2:51. Puerto Rico is at 10. We've got about 5 minutes left in this game. Again, if you're wondering why the period clock is running, our NSO crews are amazing here. The period clock's just gonna run. All of these bouts for the first 2 days are 30 minutes, no matter what. Somebody's mom could come by, somebody could get injured, somebody team timeout, doesn't matter, clock's gonna run.
I mean, the mayor was here earlier and they didn't even stop it for him.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's it.
Like,
it's 30 minutes, we're running.
It's 30 minutes, we're on top of it. Speaking of running,
Skate Pilgrim.
Yup, lead jammer status goes once again to Skate Pilgrim, Team Australia.
It looks like we got Hector Rivera has made his way out of the pack.
Yeah, he pushed his way out of the pack. It was really, really well done. Skate comes out of the pack, picking up 4 points. Gonna have to make a decision now. He's gonna wait right until he gets just entering the pack. That glimmer of hope shattered. Like so many of my dreams. I feel you, sir.
Well, you communicate with your spirit animal. Yeah. I'll let you know that we've got Dirty 5 hitting the line for Team Australia and Madeira hitting the line for Puerto Rico on our Nerd Skate Shop Jammer line.
Is this Madeira's first time I think I've seen him out?
First
As
time
jammer?
with the, yeah, first time with the Sauron, yeah.
Yeah. He's getting hung up a bit in the back. His teammates trying to help him through. It wasn't a straight through this time for Australia. Ooh, almost through on the inside, get knocked to the inside, gonna be recycled back behind Martinez. In the meantime, Madeira is knocked out to the outside. Lead was given to Madeira, so he has control right now. As Australia comes up on that pack, he does call it.
And shuts Australia down. 0 points. First time they've had a jam with 0 points on the board. I bet you that felt a little good for Madeira right then to be like, oh, you want a point? None for you.
But we do see, you know, this is something I noticed last time too. There's such excellent sportsmanship at these things.
Oh,
Flecha
absolutely.
and sausage rolls out on the line, shaking hands before they take off. It's something you'll notice over the weekend is teams learning from each other, adopting strategies, and the best part of it for me is the camaraderie. So
Yeah, everyone's really here just to have a great time, play some derby. No one's out to try and annihilate anybody. They're just here to play some derby and meet some new friends from around the world.
It is a competition, but it may be my favorite competition, just for the facts I've just listed. In the meantime, sausage rolls coming into the pack, just picking up 5 more points.
As Fletcher finds himself being pinballed around by the 3 wizards on the track. And sausage rolls just flying around the outside. Another big 5 points for Team Australia. I believe Fletcher may have stashed a star.
Could be, could be.
He might be looking for a pass. Disaster Chief getting in.
I'm
very
watching his
close.
hands. I'm watching his hands. Waiting. Ooh, Bustello almost taken out. Mr. Rolls. Not quite, though. He stays in. 5 more points on the board for Australia.
And the Wizards just making sure they're just in between Fletcher and Disaster Chief. Trying to stop any potential star pass that may be going to occur. And Sausage Rolls just stepping around Bustillo.
Coming up on that pack. We've only got 30 seconds, or 25 seconds left on the period clock, but we've got 1:10 left in this jam, so let's just keep going for quite some time. Another 5 points picked up by Sausage.
And Disaster Chief does have the star in his hand now as he's taking it out on the inside. The Wizards were all over that star pass.
I wasn't sure who was being called on. I thought for a second it was going to turn into a power jam. Not quite. Sausage calls it off. Oh, sorry, I read them backwards. I think there's 25 seconds left on the jam clock. Good news. I'll be here for the next 3 days.
It looks like we get ourselves enough time for one more jam.
We've also got enough time for one more sponsor read. Be harder, better, faster, stronger with one-on-one coaching from Herbalife and Chaos Theory. New Herbalife Transformation Challenge starting on August 8th. Visit chaostheoryblog.com for more details. In the meantime, Scott Pilgrim taking off for Australia, and that is 4:14 timing for Puerto Rico.
And we had a bit of an old school derby start there as well on the roller derby athletics, on the Nerds Skate Shop pivot line. Haven't seen that for a long time. Haven't seen that at all this weekend. I believe neither jammer has found their way out of the pack yet. Skate Pilgrim has actually been held up and recycled back by Puerto Rico. And that's one thing you definitely we'll be seeing all weekend as well, is teams definitely learning from each other and evolving as the game goes on.
And it's interesting to watch, so.
Skate Pilgrim still trying to find his way through. Puerto Rico are holding him back. It does look like he has managed to get himself the lead though. And it looks as though T-Man does have the star stashed. And Skate Pilgrim getting through for his big 5 points now.
They are ready for him. Puerto Rico not interested in letting him through. Team Puerto Rico at their bench, leading their chance.
The whole crowd seems to be cheering there for Puerto Rico. And Martinez now has come out with the star. Skate Pilgrim looks to his bench. Gets the call to call it off. Big 14-point jam to finish it off there.
So our unofficial final is going to be 309 Australia, 10 Puerto Rico.
Awesome work there from Puerto Rico. They really did force Australia to have to step up there towards the end of the second half. I think Puerto Rico are very happy with the game that they played, as they should be.
That's excellent work on both behalf. You can stay tuned to this track for France versus the Netherlands, or you can check out track 1 where Wales versus Canada is already underway.
I've been Psycho Doko from Australia, here supporting the Wizards of Oz. This has been a great game. Really enjoyed myself being here with you.
Thank you. I've been Julia Sleazer, supporting everyone always.
Love all of the Derby.